and welcome back to Little Stitches, my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you what I made in January. There's not an awful lot, which seems to be a theme every time I do one of these vlogs, but I'll show you what I made. So the first thing is the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo Pinafore dress, and I've made this in some purpley, don't know if you have, or you can see, purpley aubergine needle cord, and I did the shorter version and I just put the one pocket on the front and didn't do the back pockets. What else didn't I do? I didn't top stitch down the centre. I did it first, but then it looked really strange with the needle cord, so I unpicked all that. I found some nice sort of antique-y brass coloured, what are they, dungaree clips on eBay, and I really like the colour of them because the only ones I could find in shops were really shiny silver, and I just wasn't so keen on that. I thought with the dark fabric, the contrast was just too much. I think that looks better with maybe blues and denims. So yeah, so I was pleased I got those. The only problem I've had, which other people have said, but I watched Holly Dolly's vlog about her Cleo, and hers was in denim, and she found that the denim really clings to her tights, and I'm finding that with this cord as well. So I do wear a slip underneath it now to stop that happening. I was going to try to add a lining to it, and I cut out the pieces, but I cut them out wrong, and I should have added, I took off a seam allowance instead of adding it on to the sort of piece that would attach to the facing, so that just would not work at all. So then I resorted to just using a slip underneath. But that works fine, to be honest, and in the winter it's fine because it's an extra layer, because it's a full slip, so I put the top on over the top of that, and then there you go. So I did actually make another one of these for my friend's birthday, and I'll insert some pictures of that one. That's again in the same needle cord, and I bought both fabrics from Birmingham Rag Market, and it's £4 a metre. So I basically just bought, I think of the purple, because I hadn't made it before, I bought 1.5 meters, and then when I went back I just bought 1 metre of the blue, because you really can squeeze it out of 1 metre, no problems. So that's a really, and these clips were £3, so it's a pretty cheap make, especially if you can make more than one, so you're getting more out of the pattern as well. I got the pattern as a Christmas present as well, so all in all it wasn't very expensive to make either of these pinafore dresses, and my friend absolutely loves her dress too, and I thought it really turned out nice. The only difference I did with hers was I put bias binding around the edge of the facing just so it was really neat on hers, and I also did French seams on the side and the back seam, I think, but in cord I really wouldn't recommend doing that, because I did go through, I think it was 4 needles, just because the thickness was so extreme that the sewing machine absolutely hated me for it. So yeah, it wasn't the best idea. And the only problem I had with the pattern was at the back, at this join bit. I had to do that on both of them. I had to do it twice because I'd caught the strap. I can't work out what I did. I think I must have sewn it to, it was basically, one of them was going off at a weird angle like that, so it had just caught too far down, so I had to like unpick it and just realign that strap, but that wasn't difficult to do. And the second time around on both it worked out perfect, just a shame it wouldn't do it the first time round. So yeah, really quick make. You can make it in an afternoon if you cut everything out, and yeah, you can sew it up pretty quickly. So it's an ideal present actually, especially if my friend's a similar size to me, dress size to me, so I just did the exact same and it fits her perfectly as well. And because a pinafore is loose, then you've not got any fitting problems. So it is a really great present make. And I've never actually sewn anything for anyone before, so I was pleased that it went down well. Okay, so that in fact is all the sewing I've done. However, I did do some, I made my husband this woolly hat because we've just been on holiday to Prague, Vienna and Budapest, and it was pretty cold there. When we got to Prague, there was snow. It snowed that day, I think, and then, but it didn't snow again whilst we were there, but it was really cold. All three places were pretty chilly, so I made sure I had a nice warm hat to go away with, and I made this again like the hat I showed you in, I think that was the December Makes vlog. I used the, oh, what's it called? Knitting Gloom to do this. So it was really quick, made it in an evening. He didn't want a pom-pom, but he is actually considering whether he wants a pom-pom now. And yeah, you just keep knitting really, and then you can, when it's on the loom, once you've done about that much, you can fold it over and make a nice cozy rim to it. So yeah, that was nice, easy, quick make. And this wool was just from a local wool shop in Warwick, called Warwick Wools, and it was £2 a ball, and I can't remember what I've not got the tag from it anymore, so I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it did need 2 balls because it's so chunky. So yeah, but I have got quite a lot of the second ball left, so if you want a pom-pom, you can definitely have a matching one. And then the other bit of yarny stuff I've been doing, so with some Christmas money, I invested in a Craftsy course, and I bought this one, and it's called My First Crochet Cardigan, and it's a really simple cardigan. It's really hard. I'll try and find a picture on the internet to insert of what it really looks like, because it's quite hard, but it's basically quite a simple cardi, which is half double crochets, and that is the American term. So I can't remember what it will be called in UK terminology. Probably half trebles. Yeah, I think it would be a half treble in UK terminology, and that's, so far, that's what it's using. So I'll show you where I've got up to with that. So I've done quite a lot. So you start off on the back piece, and I've been using, so I went off piece with the recommendation of what type of yarn to use, because I had already bought this Drops alpaca silk, brushed alpaca silk, and I love it. It's so soft and cozy, and I love the fluffiness. And I've wanted a blush pink cardi for ages. I did actually buy one about a year ago as sort of something to wear when I was getting married on my wedding day, something to keep warm, but it just wasn't quite right. And I got it from TK Maxx, and it was a gorgeous colour. And because I actually had this yarn at the same time as well, I took it back in the end, because I just thought, well, one day I'm going to make my own. So that day is actually, hopefully, swiftly arriving. So that's the back piece. Because the yarn isn't as, so what do they recommend? I don't know what they recommend. I think it's DK weight anyway. And this is thinner, so I've had to add extra rows to get to the right length. I got the gauge to do the right width, but the length was off, so I wasn't really sure what to do about that. So I've just been adding a few extra rows where it's possible to without disrupting any of the sort of shaping. So it's taken me, I'm a slow crocheter as well, so it's taken me a fairly long time. I started it on New Year's Eve. So that's the back piece done. Then I did a front piece, and unfortunately this piece I'm just going to have to redo because it's too tight. It's like, for some reason I was crocheting much tighter, and I know what I was doing. I kept pulling the yarn through, and this piece is just not as long as the back piece. So I did go on to start the next side, and this one's coming up the right size, so this one's going to be fine. And then I've also done the 2 arms as well. I did the arms mostly on holiday. We got trains between the cities, so I had some nice crocheting time then, and in the evenings when we weren't doing much or felt too cold and tired to go out again, yeah, I'd do a bit of crochet. So I just need to finish off this right side, I think that is, and then I'll probably redo this one because it's just going to be, even when I block it, it's going to be too tight. Basically, I can tell from just stretching it out, it's got so much less stretch than this one. So I'm going to see where I get to with the amount of, I've got basically about just less than 2 balls left, so I'm going to see where I get to. There is some edge stitching to go around all the sides, basically, the neck down and the bottom bit. So hopefully that won't take up too much yarn, but I'll just see where I get up to before I try and unravel this, because it's a right bug to unravel because all the fibres just sort of knock themselves into each other, and it just it's really hard to pull apart. So I'll try that first and see where I get to. So hopefully I'll have that finished in the next few weeks, and then I can get somewhere out of it. Just need to find some buttons I like as well. I've been looking online on Etsy at sort of nice vintage ones. I was wanting maybe some rose gold buttons, but I can't find any that are big enough or not in enough quantity. So I might just get some like mother of pearl shell or abalone shell style ones, and that, I think that will look quite nice. So that's that, and then that's all the things that I've made, but I just wanted to show you some yarn that I bought in Vienna. So whilst we were on holiday, we were in Vienna, and whilst we were there, the weather wasn't very good, and we spent 2 days in Vienna, and the first day it was basically really wet and cold, and we were just trudging about feeling quite sorry for ourselves. So I knew of a really nice looking yarn shop, so we made our way over there so that I could at least cheer myself up, and I chose 2 different types of yarns to make socks out of. So I've never made socks, I'm not a particularly good knitter. I can knit and purl, and that's about it, but I found a blog on the internet called, I think it's Winnick Mum, and I'm going with Winnick as the pronunciation because it's spelt similar to Warwick, and so I'm thinking that's how you pronounce it, and it is a place name. And she talks you through every little thing. It's really, really interesting to read, actually. It's not in any way boring or anything, and she's making me feel like I can do this. So yeah, so I treated myself to some, it's not crazy expensive, but for 1 ball of wool it was about 12 or 13 pounds, I think. It's 100% virgin wool, it's called. It's merino superwash, actually. And And yeah, I just need one of this because it's 100 grams. It's by Schappel, and it's from the Zora Ball 100 range, and I just love this colour. I really love limey greens anyway, and I don't think this is self-striping, although it could be. I think it's got more of an ombre effect rather than distinct stripes, and that's just from looking at what people have made with this similar, well, the same yarn but in different colours on Ravelry. So I got that one, and then I also got this Lang Yarns, and it's called Mini Colori Baby, which is also a merino superwash. And I've got 2 of those because these are in 50 grams balls, and this is my favourite. Like, this colour is so, I love the real shocking brightness of the orange. It's pretty much fluorescent, and I just think it'll make some great socks. Again, I'm not sure if this is stripy or not, but I hope it is. I kind of want to do some stripy stuff. So yeah, and then I've bought, this was just delivered this morning. So I went with what Winnick Mum recommends for needles, and they're absolutely tiny. I can't believe, luckily I have got the smallest hands in the world as well, but these are Addy 30 centimetres, 2.5 millimetres circular, fixed circulars. So I've never done anything in the round before knitting wise, so yeah, it's all going to be brand new, but I'm hopefully going to give that a go this month, because I'm quite excited to start it. I just need to go up into the loft. I've got loads and loads of knitting needles that were passed down to me from my husband's grandmother, and there's loads of double pointed needles in there, so I just need to make sure I've got 3 millimetre ones to do the cast on, and I think I'm going to cast on this one first because I just love the colours so much. So yeah, so I was pleased with the purchases. I can't remember how much this one was. I think it was in euros, so it was, well, it's not a whole lot different to pounds at the moment. I think it was £6.99. In fact, is that the receipt? So yeah, so these two, one was £6.99, so that was €13.98 for that one, and that one was £12.99. So yeah, spent €27 on 3 balls of yarn. But yeah, never mind. It's probably about 25 quid, but it's a souvenir and I do love it. So, and it's entertainment. Don't need to justify it, do I? Anyway, so that's what I'll be up to this month. And I'll also be doing a bit of sewing, hopefully. I've got a few things cut out ready to go. I'm going to do some this afternoon. And yeah, so I'll hopefully have a few more bits sewing wise to show you next month. So, hope you enjoyed seeing what I've been up to, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!